Well, this time there's actually more pressure driving compared to last. Like last time was really here to enjoy the experience. I wasn't too focused on setting a lap time. It does what it does. Like I didn't really care too much. If it did a sub 60, awesome. If it doesn't, doesn't. But we were here to proving how fast this street car can go without like a local professional driver driving it. But due to new car issue, we just missed it a session, and after that I wasn't in the zone, or I wasn't in that attack mode chasing a lap time, because I just don't know if I have another chance to drive here again. That's why I just go out and then enjoy it instead of trying to break the car or going off the track. And after the meeting with the HKS mechanics at the team at head office or headquarter, it seems like everyone agrees that the car should have done a 59 on the day, or it was achievable. Well, even in the last outing, if there hadn't been any issue, we would possibly done it already. You know, as our head mechanic was saying, you know, if we had you doing one more session, you would have hit that time, no problem. That just gave me kind of the courage to drive faster, but at the same time, there's a lot of pressure on. Now, everybody is expecting to go sub 60. I can only do what I can do best. It's hard to say what's going to happen, but I agreed, you know, the car should do that kind of time, but we still need to do it. Just not just because of me, but as a team, we want to achieve that sub 60 in a street tune GR86. And then these guys believe in so much. That's why we got the call to come back and try again and revenge a better time. I can tell you right now, this wasn't the plan of what HE was selling the car for. This is a actually very special case for them and for me. They probably wouldn't do it again, but because we get to work together and also R&D parts or improvement for the car, that's why we get to do this. So when you buy the HKS car later on, don't expect everybody's going to get the same treatment. I'm not saying I'm special, but this is just how the weight end up. Yeah, pretty much how it's unfolded. The HKS is not about selling a race car or a race program, but we just want to proven this package actually works, and how far we actually went into the R&D and testing before pretty much this complete car goes on the market, if that makes sense. Some will probably say, why not just buy a GT4 and you'll just go as fast rather than going through all this hassle? But that's not what we're trying to achieve, if that makes sense. We as a team with the Japanese tuner do believe it's such an achievement building a car that was not made to go fast, but after being tuned, we can go as fast or faster than a European car. You can agree this is not a full street spec car with a sequential gearbox and the aero kind of work, but we can reprogram with a different computer and make this car actually full automatic and drivable like a street car. Some guy on Speed Hunter did comment, said, you're not really, it's a cool story, but you're not really a normal person to do this. I mean, if you're a normal car enthusiast, I don't think you will spend the money and come here to drive a car and smash out a time. So you need a bit of skills, of course, some background of driving, and also the passion to actually come and try this and do it. Of course, not everybody on the street or car enthusiast will come and buy a car and drive it, of course not, but it can be achievable, if that makes sense. You don't have to be a pro driver, you don't have to be a millionaire to come and buy this car and do a good lap. Well, after coming here for the last 12 months, meeting the locals, going to car meets, working with different shops, the car scene here is actually still quite big, but there's nothing compared back in the 2000s. I don't think there'll be a comeback as crazy as before. Cars are getting really expensive, parts are harder to find, and a lot of the older owners actually going back to stock or something more mild instead of going for like 1,000 horsepower built. A lot of these guys are actually converting the car back to like the real OG style, which I'll explain the reason why in the next few minutes. Most younger enthusiasts struggles just to stay on their foot, let alone dropping 30-40 grand on an engine or a turbo setup. It's not like they don't want to do it, but it's the saving they can actually save, and the living costs here for foreigners coming over here, everything seems to be really cheap, but if you're making yen, it's a different story. That's why you don't see a lot of younger generation have like really crazy built car. I mean, there is, but it's not as many compared to back in the days. One cool thing here is their partner really supports the passion. It's can be wife, can be husband. There is a lot of female drivers, like especially when we went to the R30 4-day at Fuji. If you watch our live, you would have seen a lot of female drivers with Skylines, not just guys. Probably the ratio here will be 1 to 10, like male to female, but in most countries it may be 1 to 50, or in Hong Kong might be 1 to 100, like 100 guys and there'll probably be 1 female. And then the next thing I want to talk about is why a magazine and DVD still exists and is a big matter in Japan. The older generation still prefer to read magazine because they don't really use the internet as much. They don't go on YouTube and look at stuff. They still prefer to actually buy a copy of a DVD, put it in the machine and watch it and see what happened at the event. Than like us, we just go on YouTube, type in yesterday's event or current, and then watch live. The younger generation, of course, is more about like Instagram, especially in Japan. So the culture has changed it a lot. And another thing what I want to talk about is why these time attack events are so important in Japan and still exist. You might not think about it this way. If there's no time attack event, there won't be any goals for shops to chase. That means, or therefore, there won't be any new parts or development made to go faster, and also the car won't really evolve. I mean, we had Evos doing 55s back in the day here like 20 years ago, but to prove that you have a fast Evo, it's more like a 51, 52 second. To achieve 3 seconds faster here in this track, it's not easy as you think, but of course technology's changed, tires a lot more grip here. We talk about aero, you know, all the CFD, better suspension, that's how we're gaining lap time. But if these events don't exist, there won't be any more development. Like for the last 35 years, Tsukuba is like the benchmark of your car, how fast your tuning car is. And most important thing is shop will actually pay pro driver to put their car on the track and prove how fast their car actually is, because that's how they bring business to the shop. Also to prove their skills level on workmanship on the car. So it's actually very, very important. So the reason buying the car, building the car here, the the local will appreciate me more and the build more. Like bringing a car from overseas and smashing it a lap time, they don't value as much in comparison. If we go out there and smash a fast time, they were like, whoa, this guy's actually put his effort into it, coming all the way here, working with the local and doing it. It's more like it's on their side, if that makes sense. Like coming in from overseas with your car, you're an outsider, you want to beat them. But buying a car here, working with them, you're kind of in the scene or working with them. That's the difference. So I'm really looking forward to tomorrow to come test out the car with the changes and see the improvement, from alignment, braking, error adjustment they made, and also slightly power increase. I really want to see how fast we can go. I think it's going to be epic, so stay tuned.